Top 10 Best Series on Netflix. The streaming era has given us a plethora of great TV shows, but it can be hard to know where to start when you start looking for something to watch. Hey guys, welcome to your entertainment channel Netflix Tops, where we tell you about the top-rated movies and series on Netflix. So grab your popcorn and stay with us until the end of the video, because today's video is going to list down the top 10 best series on Netflix. So let's get started. Number 10. The Babysitter's Club. Cancelled before its time, The Babysitter's Club was widely regarded as one of the best shows Netflix has ever produced. Based on the young adult books of the same name, the series follows 5 middle school friends who decide to form their own club dedicated to babysitting. Over the course of 2 seasons, the show managed to tell stories that were appropriate for younger audiences without speaking down to them, and grounded the experience of every girl in the group in what felt like a carefully observed, totally immersive reality. Christy Thomas, Schuyler Frank, and her 6 best friends struggled to make their successful business, the Babysitter's Club, into a full-fledged summer day camp. When a group of adults led by their neighbor, Emily Haberman, Ellen Burstyn, tries to shut down the camp, the girls must band together to keep their dream alive. Meanwhile, each club member faces her own personal challenges, including divorced parents, a discouraged diabetes diagnosis, and an innocent crush on an older boy. Number 9. Sweet Tooth. A young boy with antlers and deer-like features wakes in a bizarre and completely foreign world where the last humans struggle to survive. They tell the boy he is special, he is chosen, and that he alone can lead them back to a world dominated by the oppressive hybrids. Sweet Tooth begins in the midst of an apocalyptic pandemic, when children are suddenly born as hybrids, somewhere between human and animal. A little boy known as Sweet Tooth, or Gus, Christian Convery, is the focus of the show, detailing the discrimination and evil of humankind against an astonishing backdrop. The performances and pace of events are what make the show worth watching, in addition to some sharp performances. Number 8. Queen's Gambit. The Queen's Gambit follows the life of an orphan chess prodigy, Elizabeth Harmon, during her quest to become an elite chess player while struggling with emotional problems, drugs, and alcohol dependency. The title of the series refers to a chess opening of the same name. The story is set in the mid-1950s and 1960s. One of the most popular limited series to hit Netflix, The Queen's Gambit is also one of the streamer's best. Orphaned at age 9, introvert Beth Harmon, Anna Taylor-Joy, discovers her love and unexpected mastery of chess thanks to a janitor at her orphanage. After becoming a child prodigy, she goes on to break gender norms and defeats grandmasters. However, child stardom comes at a price as she struggles with alcoholism and substance abuse on her way to the top. Number 7. Squid Game. Song Ji-hoon, a divorced father and indebted gambler who lives with his elderly mother, is invited to play a series of children's games for a chance to win a large cash prize. Accepting the offer, he is taken to an unknown location where he finds himself among 455 other players who are all in deep financial trouble. A true international phenomenon, Squid Game is a dark story that is originally in Korean but also available with English dubs. With the promise of a large sum of money paid to the winner, a group of strangers participate in a series of kid games with a deadly twist, and only one will make it out alive. Throughout the show, hundreds of desperate, cash-strapped players are invited to compete in a series of children's games. If they win, they will walk away with billions of dollars. What they don't know, however, is that every game has a deadly twist, and not many will make it out alive. Number 6. Big Mouth. One of Netflix's longest-running animated shows, Big Mouth pushes the envelope in graphic, often humorous ways. Following a group of confused adolescents and their individual journeys through the process of growing up, we are subject to their strange, dark fantasies and mythical creatures such as hormone monsters, a shame wizard, and a depression kitty that prove to be remarkably apt metaphors for much of what young people go through. Number 5. Love, Death, and Robots. In this sci-fi anthology series on Netflix, you never know what you're going to get. Episodes range from 6 to 18 minutes, and each is a totally distinct, mind-bending spectacle. Every episode is created by a different team from a number of countries around the world, all provided with 3 words of inspiration for the short sci-fi story: Love, Death, and Robots. Love, Death, and Robots is an animated series that imagines life beyond humans. Every episode is a short story that, in one way or another, hints toward the end of human civilization. Apocalypse is an inevitable reality in the world of Love, Death, and Robots, and the series imagines how the Earth might be destroyed by robots, zombies, alien species, or even by human idiocy. Some episodes are hilarious, while others are thought-provoking. The series manages to keep it interesting with all the seasons. Number 4. The Crown. Chronicling a dramatized portrayal of the royal family history, we learn about the way they handled the political and personal turmoil around them, with some real-life historical details added for emphasis. Wonderfully acted and dazzlingly realized, The Crown is ultimately about what it means to be a monarch, what it means to be the monarch in the age when that title is largely ceremonial. Queen Elizabeth's power is in what she doesn't do, and yet the show is somehow riveting anyway. This show focuses on Queen Elizabeth II as a young newlywed faced with leading the world's most famous monarchy, while forging a relationship with legendary Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill. The British Empire is in decline, the political world is in disarray, and a new era is dawning. Number 3. The Umbrella Academy. On one day in 1989, 43 infants are unexpectedly born to random, unconnected women who showed no signs of pregnancy the day before. 7 are adopted by billionaire industrialist Sir Reginald Hargreaves, who created the Umbrella Academy and prepares his children to save the world. If you're looking for a fun comic book adaptation, the Umbrella Academy is a good place to start. The story follows a family of former child heroes who have grown apart and are now in their 30s. But when their adoptive father, Sir Reginald Hargreaves, dies, they realize they must reunite to save the world. But not everything went according to plan. In their teenage years, the family fractured and the team disbanded. Now almost 30 years old, the 6 surviving members reunite upon the news of Hargreaves' passing. Luther, Diego, Allison, Klaus, Vanya, and Number 5 work together to solve a mystery surrounding their father's death. But the estranged family once again begins to come apart due to their divergent personalities and abilities, not to mention the imminent threat of a global apocalypse. Number 2. Raising Dion. Netflix's superhero series, Raising Dion, tells the story of a young boy, Dion Warren, who discovers that he has superpowers and thereby starts learning how to control them while finding his way in the world. After a critically mixed response to the first season, Raising Dion returned for a much more lauded follow-up. Raised by a single mother going through rough times, Dion, Jae-swan Young, is a second grader who is struggling with an abnormal set of problems, learning to deal with newfound superpowers. Raising Dion is a superhero series told from the point of view of an 8-year-old with superpowers. But just because Dion's in elementary school doesn't mean that this series is kid stuff. Dion has to face all of the villains and shadowy government conspiracies that adult heroes have to face. Number 1. Mindhunter. True crime podcasts and true crime shows are great, but crafting them into compelling dramas can be tricky. Mindhunter is a Netflix original drama based on the true story of the people at the forefront of the then-emerging science of profiling serial killers. The show follows FBI agent Holden Ford, Jonathan Groff, as he and his team interview serial killers across the US in an attempt to understand why they do what they do. Netflix's true crime cinematic thriller series Mindhunter was inspired by the true story of how the FBI's behavioral science unit began studying psychopaths and serial killers in the late 1970s. And this brings us to the end of the video. What are your thoughts on today's video? Share with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for amazing movie reviews coming your way. And thank you for watching.